And we're right here with not only one, but two
The best.
of very,
I need
very
it too.
influential permanent makeup artists. Got Claire here, queen of the microblading, and of course Yesenia, queen of everything else in microblading. Yesenia, tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your area of expertise.
My area is actually I'm expert in the field of eyebrows, and I'm doing it for 5 years now, and I'm doing it all over the world, and I'm super excited about it.
What would you do with my eyebrows?
Oh, you definitely need
A
a
little
lace with
small touch. Oh,
Tyler-
yeah.
right in there.
Tyler
I will
has
fix
kind of like
one
half.
and Claire will fix the other one. Yeah.
I don't want to be the lady with 4 eyebrows.
No.
Wait,
We all saw that lady.
Do you think you can fix Tyler's? I told him, Tyler.
There
you
is
may-
there is definitely hope.
Oh, save them for me.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
I promise.
Okay, now that we're
We
talking,
make deal here.
now that we're talking about male eyebrows, I mean, tell us your experience. Are male different than females when it comes to eyebrows?
They always
But no.
start to cry.
When it comes to the technique, I mean, do you feel it like different? I mean, do you have to approach the work in a different manner?
Absolutely.
Clear?
We actually teach this in our advanced course. First of all, the male eyebrow cannot have such a high arch. It's more straighter and more messy. So that's
Yeah,
really
more bushy.
more messy and not so perfect, you know? Unless, I don't know.
So that means that you
want it
have more
perfect?
margin of error
Just
for men than women?
No,
Like if you mess up, you're not gonna notice it so much? Oh, really? Have you ever messed up in a customer? Tell me the truth.
Of course.
Oh, all of them. All of them.
Cut that.
Thank you.
Can you give us the name of the artist if you don't mind? Just kidding.
You know what was so funny? One of the first microbladings that I did, I show her now picture to my students as my bad work, and that there is hope for them, that I was not like an artist. I am not an artist, I'm just a hardworking person. So this woman calls me and says, oh, you know what, I need a touch-up. And I'm saying, oh my God. Like,
By the way, that's the neighbors closing the store, and this is 100% live. Go ahead.
it's okay, it's kind of nice. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start dancing to it.
Unfiltered. Unfiltered. The neighbor is closing down the shop.
I tell her, listen, you know what? I was like horrified. What am I gonna do for this woman? And I know what it looks like. So I said to her, listen, I'm sure it looks very gray and there is no more hair strokes. She says, you're right. I said, I know. I said, I also do removal. If you like, I could remove it for you.
If you don't like my
for
work,
free.
I can remove
Oh,
it. But that's another
seriously,
fee.
Like if you want, I could do it for free, you know.
Okay.
It's not a problem. But if you want, I could just try to neutralize the color and make it more brown. And she says, I like that option. And then I told her that I show her picture to my students, and she was like, really? You know why? Because it's funny, because I've been doing eyebrows since I'm like 16 years old. So the shape was nice. It's just the technique.
Wait, time up. You've been doing eyebrows since you were 16 years old?
Yes.
Really? Did eyebrows exist back then too? Like 16
No.
years ago?
I'm
No,
not
16
saying
years ago,
permanent
or
makeup.
when you were 16?
No. Just shaping eyebrows.
Oh,
with,
since
with
you were a kid?
tweezers and
Okay.
waxing.
Got it.
Let's get that
Disclaimer.
straight.
Disclaimer. I thought she said 16 years ago she's been doing this. No, but you've been a permanent makeup artist for how long?
I've been doing permanent makeup for 17 years now.
17 years.
17 years since, or 18 years. Whenever I moved to Florida, it was like 2001. How many years is that?
18.
18
That's,
about,
oh
right?
my God, 18 years.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Jasenia, have you ever done, do you do removals or not?
No. I don't do mistakes.
I like that.
She doesn't do mistakes.
Yeah,
But,
I do remove.
No.
Do
I
you
don't.
suggest removals to people? What's your take about removals? For example, you.
I don't know what to think about removals.
There's-
I'm kind of person that I don't like to make mistakes, and I don't like when somebody made such a huge mistakes that you need to remove.
But there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I know, but I just
There are some people that, Lulu, gets clients, and sometimes, a lot of people, they expect magic, you know, and like you're a surgeon.
Yeah,
oh,
they always expect
you know,
it.
fix me. And I, you know what I mean?
Those clients are never satisfied. That's
Yes.
the point.
Oh, and I tell her to not touch those
Don't
clients.
touch her.
Don't touch them. Those are the ones that will never be happy no matter what you do. And you know, bottom line, if the job is bad, the job needs to be removed. At least in my opinion, as a tattoo
I
artist,
agree.
you can cover some things up, but at the same time, how dark you want to go, you know, with your work, you know. Because there are tattoos that lighten up. For example, I'm going through laser right now, and probably I can do something if I want now. But covering this up, you know, would entail a super dark tattoo. And sometimes, especially eyebrows, not a lot of people are willing to live with super dark eyebrows. Or
But you want to know something,
lip.
and this is how I explain, and this is how I teach my students. I tell them, there's a lot of people. They come to me. They're like, "Oh, please, can you fix it?" And I look at it, and it's such saturation of pigment.
Oh yeah.
So I tell them, listen, the skin is like a sponge. It could only take so much. So oversaturated skin is not gonna work. And it's not
Yeah.
gonna show the hair strokes that they're looking
So
to get.
there is no point of
So there is
taking
no
money.
point. It's
Yeah.
not gonna work. So they have to get it removed. It's not even really an
That's it.
option.
What is the condition of the skin after microblading and then tattoo removal when it comes to you?
Well, it
how-
also depends, because a lot of people, they work very deep, and then there's scar tissue.
That's another thing.
That's
Yeah,
another
scar
thing. You
tissue
need to, before you do anything, you need to assess the skin, stretch it, and really feel how it is.
Now, Claire-
And it's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be the same. The
Let-
results will never be the
Let
same.
me ask you something. So, you know that the microblading topic is very hot. You know, some people say, "Oh, no, microblading is not PMU." Other people say, "Yeah, microblading is PMU. Microblading damages the skin. Microblading doesn't." What's your take on proper microblading?
Okay, it's very good question. First of all, you could tattoo with a tattoo gun and you could tattoo with microblade. It's a myth that microblading is semi-permanent. It could be. You could do a semi-permanent job with a permanent makeup machine, and you could do a semi-permanent job with a microblade, or vice versa.
Yep.
It's the depth. That's what people need to understand, that it's the depth. If you are going very deep with a microblade, that's not gonna look like a stroke. It's
Right.
gonna blur out, it's gonna migrate, and it's gonna look like a tattoo. And that is tattoo. It's like there for a very long time. So I think
you
people
can get
need to
killer.
understand that. But also, which I always try to explain, the way I teach and the way you teach also, it is semi-permanent. Because if I tell my client, you know what, this is permanent, they're expecting to last for like 10 years, like old times. The way I used to do permanent makeup before, you know, it was
Yeah,
permanent
it's
because it was
supposed to
very
stay
deep.
1 year more
And
or less,
even,
depends on
yeah,
skin type,
exactly.
and that's it.
Exactly,
Because
or
it's
maybe
semi-permanent.
maximum like 3 years, right?
What's your take about the subject? You agree with her?
Yeah, I'm absolutely
100%. Boom.
100%. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
I have my own opinion about microblading. You wanna-
Okay.
you
Well,
wanna-
your opinion.
You want to
share
hear it?
that-
You want to
yeah,
hear it?
I want to hear it.
Shoot.
Let me get my gloves on.
I've seen
Wait, do I
again.
need to go to the other
Again,
side?
I'm a tattoo artist, right? So, what I know about tattooing is poking a sequence of dots, right? Implanting the pigment. I've seen great microblading work, like incredible microblading work. What happened is that a lot of people think that microblading is easy. I think that's where the problem lies. You know, people think, oh, it's cheap, it's affordable, I get a blade, and proper microblading does look nice, and I've seen it, you know. And you know, some people say no, microblading is not PMU, but I think that proper microblading can last and can look good, you know.
It
But
can look beautiful.
it's not gonna happen by finding your artist on Groupon
No,
or on a
exactly.
discount.
It
Sure.
needs
Yeah.
a
See what I'm
proper
saying?
training,
Yeah.
really good training.
And also, the other thing that we see, you know, as manufacturer of permanent makeup products, that a lot of people, there are more people doing microblading than people doing machine work, right? Because probably it's a little bit easier to start. What do you think? Or at least to get a
It
supply.
You know,
depends.
it
what
depends.
Yeah. Who,
I think it
when
depends.
you teach them, who
Yeah.
What do you
teach
tell
you
them
and-
exactly?
But for example, I start with microblading, and I'm in love in microblading. But what I want to share with you is that actually I'm inventor of combo technique, which is microblading with shading with machine
What machine?
altogether. Yeah, and that's, I think, most beautiful technique.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
like that.
You know
that
what?
combination.
Let me tell you, I always say this, microblading is not for everybody.
Oh, that's
You
for sure.
have to have good consultation because, first of all, not every skin is good for microblading. If they have very oily skin or very thin skin, older ladies, like especially here in Florida, right?
Yes. Do you know one thing?
An 80-year-old lady comes and she wants microblading, and I'm looking, and the skin is not gonna,
Yep.
because you're cutting
Yep.
with a blade, and machine is a lot gentler. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, because it's a different way of implanting the pigments.
And Jasenia was saying something before that Asian, they have beautiful skin for
Oh, they
microblading.
have
Oh, yes,
So-
they do.
Yeah,
And let's define what makes a skin better than microblading.
Yeah, you
What
know,
is it?
the less if you have super
Smaller
small
pores.
Yeah,
Yeah, the pores.
less percentage of fat under
Oil.
the skin, oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
How-
not
how
all
young is your
Asian.
What do you think about
For
Tyler's
sure.
skin?
Oh, he's a perfect candidate.
He's
Oh!
actually good. He is. He
Yeah.
does
We're
have. he does
microblading
look
Tyler after this
I
video.
will. He just promised.
Yeah, like, for
Everybody
example,
promised.
like
he
sometimes-
promised to me.
He's right.
Sometimes
He did
also
this.
there is a lot of broken capillaries, like rosacea, like redness. They're gonna bleed a lot more because it's cutting versus implanting. Do you know what I mean? So you have
Exactly.
to. I always tell people I am a microblader. I do mostly microblading. I don't do a lot of machine work,
Mm-hmm.
but I do say to them that they need to always learn different techniques.
Exactly.
Because there is different also taste. You know,
Exactly.
like, because microblading is like a daytime look. I always say it like that to my clients. Like, it's a daytime look. It's like soft, you know, again, if it's done correctly. If it's deep, then it's gonna look like a tattoo, you know? It's
And
it's no
also,
different.
it's not, you know, even though you can mimic microblading with machine work, it never looks the same. The
Yes,
pattern,
yes.
it never looks the same. You know, it
Yes.
never looks the same. Period. You know, machine work looks like machine work a lot of the times. And yes, I mean, you can find really good artists that they can emulate it, but just for the
Yes, yes,
simple
you-
fact that the blade rests on the skin and you drag it, that
But
gives you
not
that extra
necessarily.
stability.
You can implant pigment on this way also with blade.
Yeah, by poking.
Yeah.
So you got something coming up. What I showed you, I think.
Yeah.
What do you-
I'm super
I'm
excited.
sorry.
I'm very
yeah.
excited.
I'm sorry. I think. Well, let's talk a little bit about that since
Let's
we're here.
talk.
So, is this procedure that I actually been brainstorming for a while, talking to a lot of permanent makeup artists like yourself, talking to customers, you know, talking to other students of, you know, my wife. So she also does a class that teaches permanent makeup artists how to use the machine, and they all have the same thing, you know, that they feel sometimes that they cannot accomplish everything with microblading. Certain artists, right?
No,
or
you
certain,
cannot.
Or certain
it doesn't
looks,
matter which
right?
artist.
So
You can't.
my reasoning behind the machine is basically allowing the artist with this device, which patent pending, in case you want to copy us right now, you're late.
Oh man, I was gonna copy it.
Yes. But anyway, this device basically is going to allow, it's first of all, it's actually powered by a motor, and it's cordless because it has a battery, and actually uses a blade that is just like a microblading blade. It's not like a tip, like a permanent makeup tip, where you have the cartridge and the needle inside, and the needle pushes the ink every time it comes out. This needle is actually exposed all the time. So it reciprocates at about 1.25 millimeters, which is very, very tiny. But that will give the artist the capability of implanting while dragging the skin. So far we have done some prototypes, and the results have been really, really cool. And I can't wait to get the next prototype for both of you guys to really
I can't wait.
play your magic. So
I can't wait.
But anyway, more about this machine in upcoming videos. Now going back to the topic, microblading. So Jasenia, you do machine work as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started as a microblader or machine work?
I start like microblader, and I'm in love. It's the first thing that I learned. So microblading is my love. But if you want to jump on next step, you just need to use machine.
Right.
So machine is like a discovery for me, and You know, I need to share something with you. When I research a little bit on internet and the whole thing, and then I saw that beautiful pink machine. It was a Zion, and I saw video that my friend, very good friend from Serbia, Slađana, she used machine, that one, right? And I called her and asked her, oh my God, is it good? And she said to me, oh girl, is the whole new level. Yeah, in permanent makeup machines. That's how she tell me.
And you know one thing, when we first released that machine, most permanent makeup artists never actually worked with a permanent makeup machine that was that thick, because that machine is a little bit thicker than average.
Yeah, I was think the same. Yeah, it for woman hand, it was a little bit thick, but then
Boom,
what you
boom.
did.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like it.
It's really very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tyler, what's your experience with permanent makeup?
Not much.
No, but Tyler's actually helping
He
helping us a lot
registered
with,
to my next course actually. He's coming to Boca.
as a model. As a model.
No. Excuse me, he's my model.
Okay.
We promise.
I told Tyler, just do it. Nobor, where's Nobor? He's somewhere in there. He's got microblading, he's got SMP.
SMP.
He's got every single procedure that comes out, he gets it. Where is he? He's there? Nobor. Oh, he left? Okay. But anyway, so, and you machine work, very little machine work?
No, I do machine work.
Yeah.
I actually learned first machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was, the company doesn't even exist anymore. It was Harmonix, but then Nouveau Contour bought them.
Oh, yeah? Cool. Now, let's talk about some other topic that people need to understand. Can you do great work with no so expensive equipment? What do you think?
Depends.
It really depends. Like if you get, for example, cheap blades that are not sharp,
Oh, yeah.
you can,
yeah.
because what happens is you're not able to cut the skin correctly.
Not only if they are not too sharp, if needles are
So
super too
not-
close
Yeah.
to each other,
Or
you
they're not
cannot
aligned, or
impact
one
they
needle,
spread.
or one needle is
Yeah.
off. Like, you know, it's not good quality.
You know, usually with cheap price,
There's a reason why they're cheap.
What do they say in Spanish?
It's,
Lo barato sale caro.
Exactly.
Which means what?
Was cheap materials end up costing you more?
How do you not speak Spanish in Miami? Just
Hablo
say-
español.
Habla
Ah,
español.
ok, lo barato sale caro.
Tú no estás mirándome. Tú
Ah.
estás mirando.
Wow.
Ah, you see? Be careful. Be careful. Don't let that gringo face fool you.
Yo entiendo.
Entienda, muy bien entiende. So yeah, a lot of people ask, oh, why is that so expensive? Well, hold on one second. What do you call expensive?
no, you
$5 blade, you
cheap
call that
machine
expensive?
usually creates so huge vibration that you are not able to create perfect thin stroke.
Yeah. And the other thing is that I see it, I'm sorry, but I see a lot of trainers training with the worst materials possible, and they tell their students, buy this. And it's crap. Crap. C-R-A-P-P. With double P. So yeah, I mean, we see that all the time over here. And then they come, well, I mean, I'm not getting good implantation and this. What do you use? No, I use this ink. Let me see the ink. I'm like, hold on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think that if you want to be really good, I think you got to find a good master first.
Yes, and then you have to use good products.
And you have to
in
use
my
good
opinion,
products.
because
You know, we got to say that
It
they are
shows.
their products are completely overpriced. But I think there is a a happy medium.
That's
Happy medium.
what I say.
Where you can find, products that are not gonna break the bank, but they're gonna cost you, but they're not gonna.
Try my products.
For example, try her product. What's your website?
They're not gonna break your bank, but it's not gonna be the cheapest one. It's just like the middle.
In the middle, in the middle. So what is
Beautyangelstore.us. Did you get that?
right here? No, right here.
Beautyangelstore.us.
Actually, put it right here. Put it right here. There you go. Do you have a store?
No, I don't have store.
You don't have a store.
Nope.
She's selling my store.
Beauty, what? Say it again. Anyway, so this beautiful woman is actually going to be hosting a class at the International Permanent Cosmetic Show. So for more information about her class, check on the website. You can actually go either pmumiami.com or ipcs.show. Blah, blah, blah. Now, tell us a little bit. Too many words. She actually got stuck, saying that before in the earlier video. ipcs.show. Tell us a little bit about the topics that you're going to be hosting at the class. Yeah.
We're gonna cover, very quickly, the brow pattern that we teach, and then how to do the brow shape with we use a golden ratio compass and brow rulers. So it's really fast. So we're gonna, cover that. And then quickly we're gonna cover some manual shading, how we do the manual shading. Yeah, because it's fast. If you're doing microblading and they're like, oh, I see some holes in between, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have a machine. Not everybody has a machine. We're gonna try that. We're gonna try that everybody has a machine.
Oh, yeah.
But if they don't have a machine, just saying that they could go poke, and then,
And Jasenia will not be joining us this year, but guess what? She's gonna be in 2020 joining us.
Yeah.
And she
or if
gave
you
us
dates,
the word.
I'm gonna show up there.
We would have, but we're like
Just for me.
almost 3 months, less than 3 months into the
We
show.
got the countdown.
Yeah, tons of tickets sold already, but 2020 we're gonna do it. So yeah, and you're gonna be hosting a class.
there you go.
Okay.
All right, so before we finish the video, just a small phrase that you would want to give to customers or
Yes.
potential artists.
You want to know my phrase?
Something. Yeah, just you go
The
first.
sky's the limit. That's our phrase.
There we
of our
go.
Academy.
Do whatever you want because you are able to do that.
Exactly.
There you go. And mine would be don't cut corners on something that you really want to make a career out of. Search for good trainers. This world is full of a lot of people that say that they know what they're doing, but they don't. Right? How many people are?
No. Really?
So do your research. Talk to other people that know a little bit more than you, and find the right teacher, because learning
Do
with the
your
wrong
homework.
teacher
Yeah,
can lead you to
homework.
be
Do
a
your
bad
homework.
artist. Yeah.
And ladies, I'm sorry.
Lady-
and
uh,
guys, sorry, Will Anthony. I promised my eyebrows to.
Wow. So you're gonna get your eyebrow did. That's awesome. All right, guys. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you again in
We
another
had
video.
fun anyway, right?
Yeah. Bye-bye.
See ya.
See ya.